Welcome to G-Files History. Today's May 7th, a day a seed of war was planted. On this day in 1915, the RMS Lusitania was sunk by a German U-boat, marking a turning point in World War I and setting the stage for America's eventual entry into the conflict. The Lusitania was a British ocean liner, fast, luxurious, and carrying nearly 2,000 passengers, and a crew on a voyage from New York to Liverpool. But as it neared the coast of Ireland, it was struck by a German torpedo from U-boat U-20. In just 18 minutes, the ship sank. Nearly 1,200 people died, including 128 Americans. Germany claimed the ship was carrying war supplies, and it was, but the loss of civilian lives shocked the world and ignited outrage, especially in the United States. At the time, the U.S. was still neutral, but the sinking of the Lusitania began to shift public opinion. It exposed the brutal realities of unrestricted submarine warfare and helped recast the war not just as a struggle between empires, but as a fight for the safety of civilians and international order. President Woodrow Wilson initially tried to keep the U.S. out of the war, but the memory of the Lusitania, combined with future German aggression, would eventually tip the balance. When the United States finally entered the war in 1917, the Lusitania became a central image in pro-war propaganda. Flyers and posters often depicted the ship's destruction and the deaths of innocent Americans as a rallying cry, a symbol of the enemy's cruelty and the urgent need to act. The sinking didn't bring America into the war immediately, but it planted the seed. 2 years later, the U.S. would join the Allied powers, bringing fresh troops, resources, and industrial might to the battlefield. The Lusitania was more than a tragedy. It was a symbol, a moment when the world realized that war was no longer confined to soldiers and trenches. Civilians were now on the front lines too. And its legacy reminds us of how a single event at sea helped reshape the course of the 20th century. That's May 7th, one day, a world of history.